Let's do a quick video for a change of pace. Let me get a drink first. I'm gonna need a drink for this, actually. Feeling too well is probably not the best idea. I came across this cancer when someone linked me to Shoe on Head's Twitter. It's a man. It's a male feminist. I've recently come into contact with these creatures, and I don't know what the fuck to make of them. They're like homunculus. Full Metal Alchemist, except instead of being really awesome, they just really suck.
I once got called gay for vocally supporting female empowerment in the workplace. You're welcome. Bro, do you even feminist? And by the way, ladies, do not forget to thank him when he tells you that he's fighting for your empowerment, okay? Even though he's awful at grammar, you know, at least he's pretty, I guess. Not really.
This man, who will remain nameless, said feminist frequency ruined my date the other day in the best way possible. A thread. This is positive, I promise. Well, at least feminist frequency still has like 10 fans. I mean, Lord knows it's a channel with like 250k subs almost, and their podcast can barely get 1,000 views. Yikes, children.
A man taking on a woman's trauma as if it's, you know, like his own, which it's not. So don't fucking, you know, do that. That's extremely cruel to her. Like, it's not your trauma, pal.
And also, you're not going to power walk your way out of that racism.
Yeah.
I met this woman on Hinge. I better check this shit out. Because the chick he met seems cool. And we hit it off. She is a music teacher, and I love music. And work with kids myself. I used to work with kids. I used to do charity work with kids. Never again. Never again. Because for every one kid you think is sweet, there's this little bastard. You know, this little shithead with his fucking idiot family. And you sit there and go, when that kid grows up, he's going to sell meth. We seemed to be getting along well. I asked her out, and we were going to go to a nature center. But the weather turned, so we hit the local video arcade with vintage games. You know what I would have done? I would have showed up to that chick's house, like Prince on my motorcycle. And then I would have said, have you ever bathed yourself in the lakes of Minnetonka or whatever the fuck, Prince?
Well, for starters, you have to purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
What?
You have to purify yourself in Lake Minnetonka.
I don't know, that seems to get chicks wet because you throw them in the water. They can't help but get wet when you do that. We had a good time. It wasn't earth-shattering, but good enough to merit a second date. We decided to get ice cream after work one day. We got our ice cream and walked around and talked about an hour. Okay, whatever. Forgive me, I'm kind of out of it. The plaza we were in had a movie theater. In that, we both frequented, so naturally TV and movies came up. She mentioned Frasier, and I told her I often rewatch Cheers and Frasier, and that I love the old shows, especially Cheers. Cheers was good. You see, right now you don't think he's a complete and utter Fruit Loop. I then began to talk about a specific episode of Cheers. This is where the conversation takes a dark turn, children. My favorite episode, in which one of Sam's baseball buddies writes a book and comes out as gay in it. That was funny. Sam openly supported him, and the men at the bar became concerned that the bar will become a gay bar. That was also funny. Diane challenged them and says that gay men come in their bar all the time, but they just don't know it. You know what's funny about Cheers? Diane is what you would picture a feminist to be, right? And what does she go for in Cheers? The most alpha male dude in the fucking bar that did nothing but womanize. She didn't go for like Cliff, you know, the mailman that lived with his mother, took care of his mother. You know, he was a nice guy. He was sweet. And she never had her pussy was as dry as a pile of dead leaves when she looked at Cliff. But Sam Malone, the dude who did nothing but womanize, bang chicks every day of the week, that was the guy she hooked up with. If Cheers did anything, it taught you how the way the world worked. That even the feminists would jump the bones of a masculine dude in a second. They would totally turn their back on everything they believed to fuck the guy that they said they were against. Remember that. Remember these words. If there's anything I teach you, if you're a young man, all the old dudes already know. So they're like, preach on, motherfucker. But all the young dudes, remember this. Everything a woman says, she means the opposite. I'm not into those guys. She's into those guys. I'm not crazy. She's crazy. I'd never do that to you. She'll do it to you the second she gets the chance. I'm not materialistic. She's checking your bank account. Do you understand me? You know, I am here to teach you. I'm here to give you a way. I'm going to do for you what even your father wouldn't do. Tell you the goddamn truth. I remember a buddy of mine at a bar. We played a gig. The bartender, hot chick. He used to go to school for her. He was a guitar player in my band. Tony Guns. I love that guy. He looks like Thor. The fact that he can't figure out how to get laid looking like Thor from the Marvel movies blows my mind. It's like, dude, fucking put down a chalupa, lift some fucking weights, do some sit-ups, get in good shape. You'll be like beating chicks off with a stick. You will have to get, what is it, Mjolnir? I can't even say the fucking name of the hammer. Mjolnir, whatever the fuck. You're gonna need it to get the chicks away from you. You're gonna get away from me by the power of Odin. Anyway, we're hanging at the bar, and his father's like, just be yourself when you talk to her. And I'm like, don't do that. Do not do that. Here's what you need to do. I told him everything to do. He doesn't listen to me. He goes to the bar and he hangs around looking weird, like a fucking stalker or a murderer. And then he comes back and she like hides in the back at that point. Like she won't come out till he leaves the bar. And he's like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. And I'm like, I told you what to do. And he goes, well, if you're so sure of yourself, you do it. I get up. I do everything I told him what to do. Before you knew it, the chick was giving me free beers and blowing me kisses from the fucking bar, right? And he's like, I can't believe this shit. I'm like, here, have the beer. I'm not drinking this shit. Because, you know, beer gives you a beer gut. I can't live with that right now. Or at the time either. But I was fit back then. Real fit. So anyway, unfortunately, I got strep throat literally the next day, right? I was going to show up because I did the, this is off, whatever, who cares? I did, what's that move called? It's the reel and throw or something. I gave her something of mine, and I said, are you a thief? And she goes, no, I'm not. And I'm like, okay, this is something really important to me. Give him a ring or whatever, right? Get a whole bunch of these fucking things. Just get a whole bunch of cool looking metal rings. All right? This was given to me by so-and-so who is important to you. I want it back. Now she has some sort of like tangible thing she can look at and remember you at that night that she saw you doing whatever and you're kicking ass, right? So when you come back to get the ring, it's all good. You're cool. Here's your ring back. I told you I wasn't a thief. Hey, listen, you want to go out, say Saturday, 8, sushi, whatever the fuck, and see what the hell happens. And then that's when you use the kiss close after the date. What's the kiss close? This is one of the best moves in picking up chicks you could do as a guy. I know I'm off topic. If you're not sure how to kiss a woman, all right, you're not 100% sure if the chick wants to kiss you, this is what you do. You look at her and you say, do you want to kiss me? If she says no, then you say, just asking, look like you had something on your mind while you're looking at me. If she says yes, you kiss her. If she says nothing or maybe, then you kiss her. Boom, dude. It's a fail-safe. Every option works in your favor without you looking desperate. Remember that. Back on point. So the dude then goes on about the Cheers episode where Diane says to everyone, well, there's 2 gay guys in the bar, and if you could tell who they are, she'll shut the fuck up, because everybody wanted Diane to shut up. That was like a reoccurring theme on the show. The guy writes, the men go on to make complete fools of themselves, using outdated, even for the time, stereotypes of gay men to try to determine who it is. I don't know if they're outdated at that time. All right, Freddie Mercury was alive when Cheers was on. Rob Halford was a leather slut. Come on, dude. And they were proven wrong at the end. It was a powerful social commentary that is still relevant almost 30 years later. Oh, what a great guy this dude is. What a cool dude. My date was not interested in it as I was, so I explained that because I watched Feminist Frequency and the Tropes versus Women videos as they came out and I was in college. I developed a critical eye using feminist critique, and that's why I like that episode so much.
You a bitch ass nigga. Hey. My God. Feminist Frequency, as we all know, was one of the most skewed and poorly researched YouTube channels ever. But because there was a woman sitting there screaming about patriarchy and sexism towards women, people listened. Whenever a woman voices grievances, everyone listens. You can see my YouTube channel. I voice grievances that are actually relevant to the state of goddamn America and gaming. No one gives a shit. They just write me off as, News Weekly wrote me off as a toxic alt-right troll, okay? So when I say things are fucked or wrong, I'm a piece of shit. Anita Sarkeesian says it, she's a scholar. Remember, this is the woman that needed $30,000 to open Discord. I rest my case. She then asked me if viewing movies and TV that way ruined it for me. I'd say it has, dude. It was an odd question. You know, I watched Cheers again when it was on Netflix, didn't think twice about it, had a good laugh. Even though it was old as shit, and I sit there and think, oh, goddamn, I forgot about this sort of stuff. It was an odd question, one that I know was lobbed at the women in feminist frequency constantly. When I told her that it didn't ruin it, just made me view it differently, she was not about it. Remember that great quote where Anita Sarkeesian sits there and goes, everything's racist, everything's sexist, everything's homophobic, everything. My dog is a racist, sexist, homophobe. Anita Sarkeesian said so. My table, it is racist, it is sexist, it is homophobic, Stu. I mentioned some of the tropes against women videos, not even daring to go into the other amazing things those women do with that organization. Like what? What do? They put out a podcast once in a blue moon no one listens to. They ask for money for doing nothing. What the fuck do they do? I put out more content than Feminist Frequency, and I have not asked for a $30,000 paycheck. Oh my God, let it go. Let it go, Gundam. Have some tea, bro. Have some tea. Green tea. Taste it. Green tea. Soothing. Like the waters over Mount Kurosawa or some shit. Oh, fuck. I'm bleeding from my nose reading this shit. And she was getting visibly frustrated. I didn't even tell the content, just the topic. I was trying not to force my opinion. If you're sitting there as a male feminist, telling a chick about feminism, and you're annoying her, you're fucking up. My God. It was a chick who probably was like, this guy seems cool. Then she goes on a date with him and goes, wow, what a douche. Fucking idiot. He met a cool chick and he ruins it with Feminist Frequency. What a fucking buffoon. At one point, I said something like, it depends on the context of the game. So he talked to her about games, and there must be a section missing. If you have a war game and a woman is running around in a bikini and shooting guns, does that really make sense? I'll admit, you know, sometimes you see female armor in some games and it's kind of skimpy. And you're just like, okay, it's stupid, but whatever. And you ever notice how those skimpy armor chicks are always cosplayed by chicks? You know, you look at a convention, you always see some girl running around in that skimpy armor, so it can't be that bad. I think some broads actually like it. Lord knows they're making money off of it. She said something like, well, was the character designed to be arousing? This broad seems cool. She's like, well, was the character designed to be sexy? So he's probably talking about like Metal Gear Solid 5 and Quiet. It was going badly for both of us. No, just you. You were making a total ass of yourself. Chuck, that's what we're going to call this guy, Chuck. This was a huge philosophical difference, yes, but also an intellectual difference. We thought of the world in drastically different ways. Yeah, she just went through life and said, whatever, whatever. You, meanwhile, were running around brainwashed by Feminist Frequency and trying to white knight nothing. You literally white knighted yourself out of a date. You're a fucking schnurr. There was a point in our conversation, she was mid-sentence and just stopped and said, okay. Then we started talking about The Last Jedi. Oh my God. Oh my God. Not The Last Jedi. The worst Star Wars films ever. Oh, I almost felt like I could vomit. I need more green tea. The Last Jedi was so bad I pined for Jar Jar Binks. The worst Star Wars stuff ever made. Multi-million dollars went into these Star Wars movies and it was the worst ever. Now, let's not get on Star Wars. A girl who can use the Force without training. All right, I'm done. Luke Skywalker goes from being a savior to being an old idiotic hermit. Okay, that's the last one. There was no going back.
She hated Luke. Yes, Luke in The Last Jedi was so badly written. It was like written by someone who didn't understand Star Wars. I loved him. It was over. I want to throw you out, and I wasn't even on the date. You're lucky I wasn't around. I would have walked up there and said, Miss, is this man bothering you with Star Wars The Last Jedi? Sir, could you please leave her alone? You freak. The end. No way to save that budding relationship. We haven't spoken since. It's been a week ago. You're an idiot. You stupid dick. There's something wrong with you. So that's how feminist frequency ruined my date. It was good though, because not only did I show her my opinion on feminism. Brilliant move there, Chuck. Your great opinion on feminism just ruined a girl who actually liked you. Do you not see how toxic feminism is? You literally lost a woman with feminism. Oh my God. But it also showed me she wasn't willing to discuss it with someone and have a serious conversation. Not compatible. Thank you, feminist frequency. Hashtag thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If I was a bird, I'd shit on him. If I could like transform into a bird, that's one of my, like when people go, what superpower would you have? I would transform into like a powerful bald eagle. Like a super strong one that could survive some bullets, you know? And I would find people I didn't like and I'd stake them out and then I'd perch, wait till they came out and they're like, oh my God, it's a bald eagle. Then I'd fly down looking all majestic, then I'd shit right on. He's toxic. And then fly away, be like, oh my God, the bald eagle shit on me. That'd be such a Twitter hashtag, the bald eagle bandit. This bald eagle shits on people who fucking suck. Live at 11. Alex Jones would probably be like, this bald eagle here is definitely got the spirit of George Washington in him. Some ridiculous shit. So that's what I saw on Twitter. A male feminist literally ruining a date with feminism and thinking he did something great. I gotta look for the site Hinge because apparently chicks on it are cool. My God. What a fucking goof. Thank you, feminist frequency. You helped me ruin a date with a woman. That's going to do it for me because this is way too long. You don't have to rate comments. You don't have to rate, comment, subscribe to this hateful piece of shit. The more of you that do can help me fight back on the YouTube system that gets completely and utterly worse. By the way, be sure to sign any sort of petitions against Article 13 because it looks like it might be going through. And it will be the death knell for internet content such as mine, especially over in the EU, which would be tragic. So I'd have to think of a whole new video format, or I'd have to do 2 different types of videos just for the people who live overseas that check out my shit, which really is not cool. I swear, man, governments are going to be run by companies and corporations, mark my words. As sure as I'm sitting here saying this to you, in time, it's going to be a different ball game in the future. And I'll be glad I'll be dead by the time it comes to full flourishing.